Hey guys, what is up? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Welcome back to well actually, I don't think we've ever done this on my channel.
I think we've done joint one.
We have done a Q&A on Instagram Live. This is the first time I've ever done one on my YouTube channel. This was kind of like a serious introduction to you, I guess. Because, like, you've been in vlogs, but you've never had, like, a whole video.
Oh, this is a whole video. I thought this was just a simple little event. All right.
No, it's its own video. It's a Q&A.
Alright.
It's for both of us. So, I asked you guys to ask us some questions on Instagram, and that's where I'm going to pull these from. So, let's get into it.
Let me give you a Christmas moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you.
The first question I see: do you guys see yourself getting married in the future?
Well, yeah. There's a lot of steps to get to there, but yeah, that is obviously a goal.
I wouldn't be with somebody if I didn't see myself having a future with them. So I'm not gonna waste my time, especially 6 months of my time, with somebody that I don't see myself marrying.
That's exactly the point. I said that since the beginning. I don't understand a relationship that doesn't have an end goal. Like, I don't know. It just feels like it's not worth doing that, you know?
Exactly. So, I like that answer.
Of course.
Can y'all adopt me when you get married? We love you guys. You guys, I wouldn't say you guys are like my kids, but you guys are my family. So, we love you. Where would your first international vacation be?
International?
Yeah. I want to go to Germany.
I'm either, I have like 3 I could go to. It's either, I just realized the noise machine is still on.
It's fine.
I'll turn it off in a minute. It would either be Italy, Japan, or there's one other one.
I feel like Japan would be a really good one for us.
Yeah.
We go to like a lot of international restaurants, and I would say like the Japanese, Chinese type of Asian culture.
Oriental, that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
we love.
That, and also for me personally, I would love to go to Canada to get closer to my boys, TWRP.
Something you admire about each other.
I think I've said this many times before. I like who Tiff is. She's probably one of the strongest and most dedicated individuals I've ever met in my life. So when I look at her, I feel motivated and inspired, and she's very supportive. So I don't know how else to word it other than I admire her drive. I admire your drive. I don't really know how else to say it.
Aw, that's really cute. I have a lot of things that I admire about him. You.
Him. Me, it.
One of the things that I don't think I've ever told you that I really admire about you is the fact that you can get up and go to work every day, no matter what. No matter how tired you are, no matter how much you like don't want to do it, you still get out of bed and you go to work. And for me, I'm not somebody that can hold down a 9-to-5 job, and I've said that many, many times. Social media is probably one of the biggest blessings of my life. So seeing that you can just like, I don't know, take on that responsibility is very admirable. Like,
I don't think I ever really hear that, but I mean, I feel like I've heard similar things, but just hearing it like that's a very unique like thing to hear, because I don't think about it, I just do it.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, it gives me a sense of like security if something were to ever happen. Like, I would be able to kind of like, you know, depend on you and just know that you're going to be there for me and like our future and stuff like that. So now that doesn't mean that I'm just going to completely depend. Like, let's get it straight.
No, I never got that impression.
Yeah.
Especially all the conversations we've had about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As time goes forward, you never want to be not doing something. You always seem to be you always want to be active in something and actually being, you know, productive. From what I understand. And
with that being said, I want it to be like we're building something together. It's not just he's going to work and I'm staying home. It's we're building this together. So whatever that may be for the future, that is, I don't know. But I really admire that about you. You're very hardworking.
Thank you.
What are your zodiac signs? Do you know what mine is?
You're a Gemini.
Yeah, and he's a Scorpio.
Yes.
Which, the compatibility for Gemini and Scorpio is very not the greatest. However, everything that I've read about the zodiac signs is saying that as long as Geminis and Scorpios have a mutual respect for each other, which I think we really do, they'll work perfectly. Kind of like a Gemini is like an angel and a devil. That's kind of the same scenario here. As long as we respect each other, and I feel like that goes for any relationship, that's really gonna be where we strive. How did we meet?
Bumble.
Yeah.
It was a dating app, actually.
Mm-hmm. We both have different stories on how we met, though.
It was I hate dating apps because I think I spent about 6 months to a year on one, and those things destroy you, like self-respect wise. Like, you go on dates and it wears you down, you start losing hope in this stuff, and then it's always the same story. Before you quit, you find someone. Which is exactly what happened. We were both about to get off the app. We were like the last people we matched with. And then we immediately started chatting, and we kicked it off from there.
That's his story. My story's a little different. So how I ended up meeting him, we met on Bumble. But I had saw this guy at the gym that I've never seen before. And I was like, who is that guy? Like, I want to know who that is. And to this day, I have no idea who that guy is. I haven't seen him at the gym since I downloaded Tinder. And all of a sudden he stopped showing up at the gym, and I'm like, okay, so this is weird. And Tinder was not a great place, so I got off that, and I actually expressed on Instagram, hey, I can't find this guy on Tinder, what should I do? Well, so many people messaged me and were like, hey, I found my husband on Bumble, just so you know. And I'm like, you guys are fucking with me. Stop. What do I got to lose? So I downloaded it. Matched with, I think, 2 other people.
Oh,
and
you told me the stories about that.
They were just
terrible.
Boring, or they were only after one thing, and I'm not that type of girl. So I get a notification saying that somebody matched with you, and I had bought that thing on the app. It was like $10 or $20.
I did it too. I think everybody does it at one point. They give into it because there's a sale or something, and they really want to try.
Yes, and it showed me his picture that he matched with me, and I immediately, as soon as I saw his picture, was like, oh, that's it. I'm done. I'm getting off the app. This is it. I kid you not. I was like, he's mine. I literally said it out loud, started chatting with him, and I believe the same day we had a date. He asked me out.
I had, within 24 hours, and that was very I don't want to say unprecedented. It was not common. It was very uncommon for me to do that. Because normally I would spend a week talking to someone, they would be skittish, or it would never kick off, or I would have to really work myself up. But I had never, and I said this earlier today, we were talking about it, I had never so casually just said, let's go on a date. Through a message within I think about 5 to 6 hours of messaging.
Yeah.
Because the conversation was so fluid.
Yeah.
And so easy to talk with. It was so easy to talk with you. I was like, I would like to meet this person. I don't know. It blossomed from there. It was a really very beautiful moment to think back to, honestly.
Yeah. And our first date, I remember we went to this bowling alley, and we just we bowled for a little bit. There was a little bit of banter, kind of making fun of each other, kind of,
I wouldn't say we're making fun of each other. We were joking around.
Yeah.
We were casually talking.
And then we sat down, and we just kind of all right, so here's my issues. What happened to you type of thing. I feel like that's what the conversation was like.
It was because we had been nervous. I think we had to wait until the weekend because I had gotten paid.
Yeah.
And I was the one who asked you out. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to pay for the date.
Yeah.
You did. But I said, can we wait until I get paid this Friday? I'll take you out. I'll pay for everything. And you said, sure. So we waited a week. During that week, we had talked. And I remembered you opened up to me about some stuff.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of stuff I could understand. And you were scared to tell me. So, I didn't... And it was funny. You were scared, but I wasn't, worried about what you were saying because I understood.
Yeah.
So we started talking about that because we had just discussed that the night before. and it turned into this almost hour-long conversation over drinks at the bowling alley.
Mm-hmm.
And not like liquor, but like, you know, we got like iced teas and water. And we were just talking and enjoying each other's company. Is that where we got our first pretzel together?
No, that was, I want to say Game On.
Yeah, it was at Game On. I think so. Wait. Game On is,
that bar underneath.
I think there was one place before that. Oh no, maybe it was Game On, because that was only a month into the relationship.
Yeah, because I was like salty that I didn't take a bite of the pretzel.
Salty as the pretzel.
But back to the first date. So the thing that like sealed the deal for me is typically on the first date, if it goes well, the guy will try to kiss you. And like I said, I'm not that type of girl. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like when people just come on to me. And he gave me a fist bump. I'll never forget it. I was standing there like, did this man just fist bump me? Like, and he was just like.
I didn't know if you wanted it.
Yeah.
I think you were making a point. I was like, yeah, I was kind of like that. And I was like, oh, you want. Well, I was very socially awkward at the time. I still am. And it's not even just about that. It was just the fact that I never felt like pushing the boundary, especially with someone you don't know.
Yeah.
And while we had been talking, I didn't feel like I had the right to try and force an uncomfortable situation upon you. I never understood that whole, like, the guy has to do, like, the guy doesn't have to do anything. The guy should just be, it's a date.
Yeah.
Who cares what the rules are? Do something you're both comfortable with, and just don't try to be weird about it, you know? I don't really know how else to put it.
See, that's one of the reasons I really like you. Love you, I should say. I really respected that because I wasn't ready for that. We kissed on our third date, and I got a speeding ticket.
Yeah, you got a speeding ticket for that.
Yeah.
She was so happy.
It was perfect timing. It was everything lined up the way that it should. Next question. Who tends to be more quiet when an argument occurs, and how do you speak? How do you get that person to speak?
I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It's definitely you.
Yeah. So when we get into an argument, which I don't want to say it happens often, but it happens.
Like between the last argument we had and before that, I want to say almost a month and a half to 2 months had passed before we had any sort of disagreement, really.
Yeah, and our disagreements aren't like big things. They tend to happen over some of the stupidest stuff.
Yeah, and it's like half the time we argue the same points and then we realize, why are we arguing? And you're like, I don't know. And I'm like, why? It's like, but then and that's why I try my hardest to just talk to you, which is where it comes in, like, I don't want to, like, say something you're not very comfortable with.
Okay.
But you tend to get quiet.
Yeah, I do.
And you've told me this. We've talked about it. And it's just because of your experiences. You've never had... Like, that's how you normally get.
Communication skills. Let's just say that.
I don't want to say something rude or
no, you're
overbearing.
fine. You're fine. It's going to start an argument. I'm kidding.
Please, no.
No.
Not now.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you get quiet, but you've explained that, and I do my best to be respectful of that, because I know when you get quiet, you're thinking.
Yeah.
You're filtering, and you're trying not to just be like, well, you should go die.
Right, yeah. No, he's being dead serious, too. How he gets me to talk is he will typically just leave me alone for a second. So I'm a person... I have always been taught to think before you speak. And if I'm in an argument and I'm not thinking about what I'm saying, I'm going to say some stuff that's going to hurt your feelings, whether or not I want to or not. So typically I will just stop talking, I will shut down, and I will just keep it to myself. Because whatever I'm thinking when I'm mad, it's not what I mean. So I stop talking. And he's caught on to that, and he has kind of stopped talking too in that way and just let me digest everything that just happened, think about it, and then he'll come back and he'll like say, you know, what's going on, let's talk about it. And it might be like a little argument that's gonna happen back up again, but it's gonna make me open up too.
It's funny because like whenever, like the last time you got quiet, I have a bad habit of saying a lot of stuff, and I'm the kind of person that get anxious when I get into a confrontation, and I instinctively get defensive, and I instinctively like panic internally. So I say whatever comes out, but I try to filter it to the best of my ability, even though I know when I listen back to myself, I'm like, I don't think this is as accurate as it should be. Like, this could be misconstrued many ways. And I'll say things that, like, need more context. So when you get quiet, I tend to try and get my facts straight in front of you and explain what I mean.
Yeah.
Instead of just being quiet and being like, well, she should be talking. I'm like, this is how I feel. I think you should know this, what I meant. And I think this is what the problem is from my point of view. And I want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I always see arguments as a chance to understand what is causing a disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people argue and they just want to be right, when half the time both of you might be wrong in some way, and you just need to figure out what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I let you think, because I know, like, you don't want to fight.
Yeah,
but
that's not what that's never what I want.
No, nobody wants to. It's just figuring out what to do so that you're both in a better spot afterwards, so that you're both in better positions and you feel better.
Yeah.
Sometimes just voicing what's wrong and then having the person understand is all that matters.
Yeah.
Because then you know moving forward. And that problem can be avoided. It's communication. It's hard. Trust me, I know.
Favorite memory of you two? We love you two last name. Favorite memory?
That's a good question. There's a lot of them.
A lot of
Yeah.
I feel like this weekend, so right now we're in Hocking Hills.
Yes.
So like when we watch this video back one day, we're in Hocking Hills. It's November 20th, 2021.
Yes. A year after the worst year in recent history.
I feel like this weekend will be one that's going to be like our favorite memory.
I know. It's a nice getaway. I feel like it's very cozy, comfy. I'm showing her a lot of Marvel movies. I was even saying, I'm like, you don't have to watch them if you don't want to. We could watch whatever you want to. We don't have to. And she's like, no, I want to watch them. Let's go. But yeah, between that, I've been playing Skyrim, but we've also been going out. We've had some goats earlier. We had a couple of restaurants. Hocking Hills has too many buffets.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Everywhere has I joked. I'm like, you welcome to McDonald's. We have a 5-piece McNugget for $2.99, and also the buffet is half off.
You're right.
And it's like every place has a buffet except the major chains.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all the same stuff half the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, I didn't even get the buffet this morning. I had 2 buffets yesterday, I think. Oh no, we had the one. And then I saw 3 more between now and then. And I said, I'm not getting the buffet. I'm just going to get one meal. And it was all I ate. And I was like, I was happy with that. We went out. We had a couple meals. We've looked at a couple places. We've awkwardly walked into some kid's birthday party earlier. Because we thought it was a game store.
Yeah.
And there was curtains up. And we're like,
ooh, what is that?
what's this? It says games, VR. That's cool. Let's see if they have anything for sale that I might be interested in or she might be interested in. And we walk into a kid's birthday party. There's 3 kids in VR headsets reading us at the door.
Yeah.
And we're like,
I thought one was gonna hit me.
And we start walking in, everyone's screaming, like, let's go. Let's just go.
Get out of here.
We didn't want anything to do with that. We had pizza. We looked around the town. We went to a bunch of, like, Amish stores. We tried a bunch of different, like, ice cream, milkshakes. We tried the coffee flight thing yesterday.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I had a cheesecake flight. There's really 2 pieces of cheesecake, because the third one I just didn't like, but
yeah,
she ate it, and that's all that matters. I looked at a bunch of stuff. I bought some Christmas presents while I was here. I also bought some stuff for myself. She bought some stuff for herself. We got an ornament together. And we've just been enjoying the time away from everything, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasant trip. I'd have to say one of the most pleasant memories was the camping trip. When we went with my friends, mostly because it was the first time we had ever gone somewhere together.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And we had slept in the same bed. It was very different sleeping next to someone because you're like, but it was comfortable. It was relaxing. It was a very.
It was a blow-up mattress too.
Oh yeah, that thing sucked.
Yeah, even
getting that thing going while it was storming was a memory in and of itself. And we were filling it up when the thing was open.
I know.
And that thing started filling up so fast. Once I closed.
Unfortunately, the camera died right in the middle of us answering questions. So that is where we left off. There will be another Q&A during this month, and we will answer more of your questions. So make sure that you guys follow me on Instagram if you want to be a part of that. I love answering you guys' questions, and so does Jay. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we always want you here. I love you, and I will be here tomorrow and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Okay, we got two little bars in the battery, so we gotta make this as quick as possible.
Alright, let's be quick.
Okay.
Yo, let's make a little thing saying if this cuts off halfway.
No.
I'm gonna go turn that noise machine.
Yeah, so I asked you guys some questions on Instagram, or I asked you we're just gonna jump in my phone. There it goes. Just drop my phone.
What was I saying?